Hi everyone, I'm Mina from Susan's family. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a limpid river pullover from Chinese aesthetics series. For this electronic tutorial, you can search for susud.com on the website to view it. This overalls consists of the main piece, joining, and buttons. First, crochet 2 identical main pieces. After completing them, join the corresponding positions of the front and back pieces. Finally, sew on the purl buttons. Let's start with crocheting the main piece. The main piece starts with some groups. Work back and forth along this starting row. A variety of stitches are used, which are all labeled in the diagram. I won't go through each one individually. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Take out the corresponding yarn. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I will use cotton yarn for the demonstration. For specific color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page and the paper charts of our product. Let's start. Wrap the yarn around your little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Then, pinch the tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the hook with your right hand. Position it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pinch the crossing point of the loop with your left thumb and middle finger. Put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over and draw through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten. Now, let's start crocheting chains. Yarn over and draw through. 1 chain is completed. Continue to crochet 4 more chains. Yarn over and draw through. This braid formed by the slip stitch is 1 chain. Now you have completed 5 chains. Next, crochet 1 treble crochet into the first chain. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Insert through the middle of the braid. Pick up these 2 strands. Yarn over and draw through. Now there are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. There are 3 loops left on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through the next 2 loops. There are 2 loops remaining on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. That completes 1 treble crochet. The stitch on the right side is the completed treble crochet. This completes 1 group. Continue to make another group. Start by crocheting 4 chains. Then, in the treble crochet of the previous group, crochet 1 treble crochet. Another group is now completed. Continue this process to complete the required number of groups. Refer to the chart for the specific stitch count. This is what it looks like after completing the sample. Next, start working on H1. Continue crocheting with the previous yarn. Begin with 1 chain. This is the beginning chain for the single crochet of H1, which does not count as a stitch. Insert into the treble crochet. Work 1 single crochet. Yarn over and draw through. Now you have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull through both loops on the hook. One single crochet is completed. Chain 5 as a spacer. Insert into the treble crochet. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 5 again. For this row, pick up the treble crochets and make 1 single crochet. Chain 5 as a spacer in between. Repeat this process all the way down to complete this row. After completing this single crochet, chain 5 as a spacer. Pick up the last chain and make 1 single crochet. This completes H1. Now move on to H2. Start with chaining 5. When working back and forth, you need to turn the piece. Turn the piece counterclockwise. Then, pick up the chain space between adjacent single crochets on the left side. Make 1 single crochet. Chain 5 as a spacer. Continue to pick up the adjacent chain space on the left side and make 1 single crochet. Then, pick up the adjacent chain space and crochet 7 double crochets. Yarn over once. Insert into the chain space. Yarn over and draw through. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. There are now 2 loops remaining. Yarn over and pull through both loops. The first double crochet is completed. Let me demonstrate this again. Yarn over once. Insert. Yarn over and draw through. Then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Repeat this twice. 1, 2, double crochet is done. Continue in this same chain space to complete the remaining 5 double crochets. Here, I consider these 7 double crochets as one fan pattern area. Move down to the adjacent chain space and start from there. Pick up each chain space, one by one. Crochet a single crochet in each. Between these single crochets, make 5 chains as a spacer. After that, consider the single crochets and the chains in between as one spacer area. Next is the fan pattern area. Crochet 7 double crochets in the chain space. Then, crochet in spacer area. For the rest of this row, alternate crocheting the fan pattern areas and spacer areas. Complete the remaining part until the last fan pattern area. Once completed, pick up the adjacent chain space and work 1 single crochet. Make 5 chains to form a spacer. Continue picking up the adjacent chain space and work 1 single crochet. Then crochet 2 chains. Then find the single crochet from the previous row and work 1 double crochet. This completes H2. Now, let's move on to H3. Start with 1 chain. Turn the piece. Pick up the double crochet from the previous row and work 1 single crochet. Make 5 chains to form a spacer. Pick up on the left side. In this 5 chain space, work 1 single crochet. Next, we reach the fan pattern area. Pick up each double crochet and work 1 double crochet. Make 1 chain in between. Note that here you are on the wrong side of the previous row. When crocheting, the stitches should be located at the upper left. Now we come to the spacer area. Pick up each chain space and work a single crochet. Between the single crochets, make 5 chains to form a spacer. In the fan pattern area, pick up each double crochet and work a double crochet. Between them, make 1 chain. Continue following the methods for these 2 areas. And finish crocheting the remaining part until you reach the last fan pattern area. Once completed, pick up the adjacent space on the left side and work 1 single crochet. Make 5 chains. In the last edge's chain space, work 1 single crochet. This completes H3. Next, continue to H4. Start with 5 chains. Turn the piece. In the chain space on the left side, work 1 single crochet. In the fan pattern area, pick up each double crochet and work 1 double crochet. Between them, make 2 chains. The fan pattern area is completed. Now we reach the spacer area. Pick up the chain space and work 1 single crochet. Between them, make 5 chains. Moving forward, it's all in the fan pattern area. Pick up each double crochet and work 1 double crochet. Between them, make 2 chains. In the spacer area, work 1 single crochet in the chain space. Between them, chain 5 as a spacer. Continue this pattern all the way down the row. Until you reach the last fan pattern area. After completing the last fan pattern area, pick up the space on the left side and work 1 single crochet. Chain 2 as a spacer. Continue by picking up the edge single crochet and work 1 double crochet. This concludes the row. H4 is completed. Move on to H5. Start with 1 chain. Turn the piece. Pick up the edge double crochet and work 1 single crochet. Then, pick up the double crochets in the fan pattern area and crochet a DC5 popcorn with 2 chains as a spacer between them. Start by picking up the first double crochet, crochet 5 double crochets. After that, stretch the loop. Remove the hook from front to back. Insert into the first double crochet and the last loop in sequence. Adjust the size of the loop. Draw the loop through the first stitch. When crocheting, you can hold the middle few double crochets with your fingers. Make the entire stitch pop outwards. Then chain 1 to secure it. This securing chain becomes the stitch. Like this, a DC5 popcorn is now completed. We'll refer to this as the popcorn from now on. Next, crochet 2 chains. Then make another popcorn. Let me demonstrate this again. First, crochet 5 double crochets. From front to back, insert into the first stitch and the 5th loop. Pull the loop through the first stitch. Crochet 1 chain to secure it. Another popcorn is now completed. Continue with 2 chains to form a spacer. Finish crocheting the remaining fan pattern area. This creates a total of 7 popcorn. After that, pick up the chain space and work 1 single crochet. Then, in the double crochets of the fan pattern area, crochet 1 popcorn in each, with 2 chains in between. Pick up the chain spaces in the spacer areas. Work 1 single crochet in each. Follow this pattern to complete the row. Finally, pick up the chain space on the edge. Work 1 single crochet. This completes H5. Continue with H6. Start with 5 chains. Turn the piece. Next is the fan pattern area. Pick up the chain space between the popcorn. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 5 to form a spacer. Then pick up the chain spaces between each of the 5 popcorn in the middle. That is, these 4 chain spaces. Work 1 single crochet in each. In between, chain 5 to form a spacer. After that, start with 5 chains. Then pick up the last chain space of this fan pattern area, and the first chain space of the fan pattern area on the left side. Crochet a SC2 tog. Skip the single crochet in the spacer area. Please watch my demonstration. First, pick up the last chain space, crochet an incomplete single crochet, insert and yarn over, draw the yarn through, complete an incomplete single crochet, skip the single crochet in the spacer area, in the first chain space of the fan pattern area on the left side. Crochet an incomplete single crochet. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through all 3 loops. That completes one SC2 tog. Continue by picking up the next 4 chain spaces on the left side, and make 1 single crochet in each, then make 5 chains as a spacer. Next, pick up the last chain space of the fan pattern area, and the first chain space of the next fan pattern area. Work 1 SC2 tog, skip 1 single crochet in the middle. In the 4 chain spaces in the middle of the fan pattern area, make 1 single crochet in each, make 5 chains in between. Follow this pattern to finish the remaining part. Continue until you reach the last chain space. When you get to this position, pick up the last chain space, and make 1 single crochet. Make 2 chains as a spacer. Continue to pick up the single crochet on the edge. Work 1 double crochet. This completes H6. Move on to H7. Start with 5 chains. Turn the piece. Pick up the 5 chain space on the left side. Work 1 single crochet. Make 5 chains as a spacer. The crochet method for this row is relatively simple. Continue by picking up the chain spaces and crocheting a single crochet in each, with 5 chains as a spacer between them. After completing the last single crochet, crochet 2 chains, pick up the edge chain space, and work 1 double crochet. This is what H7 of the sample looks like when completed. Continue to H8. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain for the double crochet, which counts as 1 double crochet. Then, turn the piece. Pick up on the left side. the 2 chain space, and crochet 3 double crochets. Next, pick up the 4 adjacent chain spaces on the left side, following the method of the spacer areas in H2, which means picking up each chain space and crocheting 1 single crochet with 5 chains as a spacer between them. After that, pick up the adjacent chain space, following the method of the fan pattern areas in H2, which means picking up the chain space and crocheting 7 double crochets. Then, as per the spacer areas and the fan pattern areas of H2, work all the way to the last spacer area. After that, pick up the edge chain space and crochet 4 double crochets. This completes H8. Continue with H9, start with 3 chains, which serves as the beginning chain for the double crochets, counting as 1 double crochet, and should correspond to the double crochet below. Then, make another chain, turn your piece, and pick up each double crochet, crocheting 1 double crochet into each, skip 1 chain. Reaching the spacer area, pick up each chain space and make 1 single crochet into each. In between, make 5 chains as a spacer. Then follow the pattern of the middle fan pattern area from H3 and the spacer area, crocheting accordingly. This means picking up each double crochet in the fan pattern areas and crocheting 1 double crochet into each. Make a chain in between. Pick up the chain spaces in the spacer area and make 1 single crochet into each. In between, make 5 chains. You can also refer to the chart for specifics. Complete the rest on your own until you reach the last spacer area. At this point, on the corresponding 3 double crochets on the left side, work 1 double crochet into each. Make a chain in between. Once completed, make a chain. Then, pick up the hole between the beginning chain and double crochet from the previous row and work 1 double crochet. This is what it looks like after completing H9. Next, move on to H10. Start with 5 chains. Then begin from this double crochet on the left side. And pick up each double crochet, work 1 double crochet, chain 2 in between as a spacer. Once completed, follow the pattern of the spacer area and the fan pattern area in the middle of H4. Crochet all the way to the last spacer area. After that, pick up each double crochet, work 1 double crochet with 2 chains in between. For the last double crochet, directly pick up the edge chain space and crochet. This completes H10. Continue to crochet H11 next. Start with 5 chains. Then turn the piece. Next, begin from this double crochet on the left side. Pick up the double crochets and crochet 1 popcorn in each with 2 chains in between. After that, follow the space area and the fan pattern area in the middle of H5. Crochet until the last space area. After that, pick up 3 double crochets on the left side and crochet 1 popcorn into each with 2 chains as in between. Then crochet 2 chains. Finally, pick up the edge chain space and work 1 double crochet. H11 is completed. Continue with H12. Start with 5 chains. Turn the piece. Pick up the adjacent chain space on the left side. Make 1 single crochet, 5 chains as a spacer. Then pick up the space on the left side again and make 1 single crochet, 5 chains. Next, pick up the adjacent chain space and the first space of the next fan pattern area. Crochet 1 SC2 tog, skipping the middle single crochet. Then continue following the pattern of H6, which means picking up the middle 4 chain spaces of the fan pattern area and crocheting a single crochet in each. Pick up the last chain along with the first space of the next fan pattern area. Crochet a SC2 tog with 5 chains as in between. Complete the remaining part all the way to the middle 4 single crochets of the final area. Once completed, pick up the 2 adjacent chain spaces on the left side. Make 1 SC2 tog, followed by 5 chains to form a spacer. And pick up the next 2 spaces. Work a single crochet separately, with 5 chains in between. Then crochet 2 chains after completing it. Pick up the chain space, and make 1 double crochet. This completes H12. We consider H1-H12 as one pattern repeat. Moving forward, except for the beginning and ending areas, the middle areas are all worked, alternating between the spacer areas and the fan pattern areas. Note that the beginning and ending areas are always incomplete. For the beginning and ending areas, you can refer to H1-H12 for crocheting, or follow the chart. Continue working according to this method until you reach the corresponding row. After completing the corresponding rows, fasten off. I will continue to demonstrate the method using this sample. Chain 1 to secure. Then leave a tail of about 10 centimeters and cut the yarn. Hide the tail on the wrong side. You can hide several times for security. Trim off any excess tail. The starting tail should also be hidden on the wrong side in the same way. This concludes the explanation for the main piece. Following the same method, crochet another main piece. Once the main pieces are completed, we will join the 2 pieces together. The joining is done on the wrong side, while picking up starting groups and working single crochets. And work 3 chains between each stitch after joining the corresponding number of groups. Fasten off. Continue joining the other side using the same method. Please watch my demonstration. Align the foundation rows of the 2 pieces. Count up 18 groups from the bottom. Secure them with a stitch marker. The group count in this sample is not for reference. It's just to demonstrate the method. Place the right sides of the pieces together. Join them on the wrong side. Start joining from the first group at the edge. For better visibility, I will use a different color for this demonstration. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Insert through the first group of both pieces. Draw the yarn through. Adjust the size of the loop. First, make a chain. In the same group, work a single crochet. Then, chain 3 as a spacer. Continue by picking up the adjacent group on the left side. And work a single crochet. Chain 3 to form a spacer. For the rest of the work, pick up the adjacent group from both pieces. And work a single crochet. Chain 3 as a spacer between them. Continue crocheting until you reach the stitch marker. After that, secure with a chain. Leave about 10 centimeters of yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Use a needle to hide the tail on the wrong side. This completes one side. This side will serve as the front piece of the overalls. Now continue to connect the other side. Start from the edge group. Count out 19 groups. Secure them with a stitch marker. Join them using the same method as for the front piece. The sample has already been joined here. This is what it looks like after joining is completed. That concludes the explanation of the joining. After completing the joining, we need to sew buttons onto the front piece. Let's take a look at the finished product. The front piece includes the sewn edges and the top seam. These perfectly match up with 4 fan pattern areas and 3 spacer areas. We will sew a button in each of these 7 approximate areas. For both front or back pieces on either side of the overalls. Sew a button respectively into the edge space of the third to last row. Cut a length of yarn. I will continue to demonstrate using a different color. Thread the needle. Find the corresponding position. Insert the needle from the back to the front. Leave a tail of yarn on the backside. Thread the purl button. Wrap around the chain space. Pass it through. You can sew through several times. After joining, on the wrong side, tie a knot with the reserved yarn tail. Hide the tail. Make sure to hide this tail as well. This completes the joining of one purl button. Everyone follow this method to sew all the buttons on the front piece. Once completed, we need to sew a purl button on the side edge too. Locate the third to last chain space. Insert the needle. Leave a tail of yarn. Thread the purl button. Sew around the chain space a few times. Finally, tie off with the reserved yarn tail. Hide the tails on the wrong side. On the other side, at the back piece, find the chain saps on the third to last row, and sew on another purl button. Everyone follow this method to sew all the purl buttons. This concludes the explanation of sewing the buttons. Up to this point, the crocheting method for this overbulse is now complete. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family. Support your handwork experience. Share the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.